When I was a kid, I asked my friends to call me Rio. It was the 80s, and I loved Duran Duran. And if you remember that, Rio, Rio, she danced across the sand. Well, I lived in the mountains of Colorado, and I didn't dance across the sand, but I did ski across the land. I ran around town, I ran in the mountains, I played in streams I wasn't allowed to, I collected grasshoppers, I talked to fairies, I talked to God, I talked to trees. I had big dreams, I fantasized, I made up wild stories. And in school, do you remember the standardized test? I took a standardized test. And I remember at the end of that test that they asked us to draw something, and I drew a bird, like the craziest magical bird you have ever seen. And shortly after that, I was a handful of people that got taken out of class because we were smart. We were gifted. We were gifted and talented. So I thought it was the bird that I drew. Like, they saw how creative I was. I've kind of realized years later they actually liked my math scores and my reading scores. So they called me smart. Yeah. And so when they called me smart, it was because I was good at math and I was good at reading. I was a good girl. But they never called me smart because I was intuitive and heart-based and magical and a little mystic. They just called me smart because I was good at reading and math. So at age 22, I find myself entering my senior year of college, the 4.0, and a job as an accountant. Now, if you're the artsiest, fartsiest accountant in the room, it's kind of funny. But the world told me that's what smart people did. And I wanted to be smart. I wanted to live up to being smart. So I got out of accounting, but I stayed kind of I stayed very in the corporate world. Very much into consulting and change and people, but I was always a little bit different than everybody else, and I always kind of liked that. But then I found myself on the couch, recovering from back surgery, unable to get pregnant and have a baby. And then all of a sudden, Rio came back, and she's like, hello. I'm still here. And she literally came to me in my dream, and she said, let's go. And so, in the largest recession of our time, in 2009, I walked into my consulting firm and said, I'm resigning. Well, what are you going to do? I don't know. I don't know. And that's the most courageous thing I've ever done. And so I took painting classes, and I literally got drunk without drinking off of painting because I had lost that side of me. But Rio was right there, dancing across the sand with me, reminding me that I'm alive, alive, alive. And I wondered, well, what was I going to do? And then I knew that I actually wasn't going to leave corporate America. I wanted to be part of helping heal corporate America. And that required healing myself. And that required finding the courage to work in a way that worked for me. And to embody what I wanted to see and how I wanted to be treated. And to find the magic again. And I've worked with a lot of leaders in the last 15 years and a lot of organizations. And what I know to be true is that so many leaders are hurting. So many leaders are hurting. The systems have hurt them too. We can heal the systems. You know how we can heal the systems? We can heal them by healing ourselves. Who created the systems? We created the systems. Who can heal the systems? We can heal the systems. And I've watched people heal. And I don't want to see somebody say again that I had to leave corporate America, organizational life, being in community, so that I could find myself again. Why are we not finding ourselves in these organizations? Why are we not finding ourselves in these organizations? Nature is really important to me. I learned the other night, nothing repeats itself in nature. Everything is unique in nature. There's no evil in nature. There's pain and suffering. There's life and death. But it's a beautiful cycle. Shouldn't our organizational life be like nature? And not like a machine? Shouldn't I be able to say that I'm working at an organization and that organization has helped me become my best self? And it's leaders that are going to start this change. And you're not necessarily going to start this change by being the best at math and the best at reading, though important. Reading and writing is important. And so is your intuition, your magic, your beauty. Those things count. Those things need to take the lead. So how about my Rio and your Rio go out and ski across the land?